Welcome to the Pantheon Parenthetical. My name is Lance Ash. When Bob decided that the day had come for his final visit to see Jack for the summer, he took along an offering. This was a tool that he had swiped from his grandfather's workshop. It was like a pocket knife, but it had Allen wrenches of different sizes instead of blades. He intended to give this to Jack in exchange for the final revelation or insight or bit of new information that Jack would unwittingly impart to him. When he got to Jack's house, through force of habit, he went in the back door without knocking first. This was a mistake. He usually knocked. He found himself inside the house before he realized what he'd done. Nobody saw him, but embarrassed, he went back outside, closed the door, and then knocked as usual. Jack's mother answered the door. She was dressed in a housecoat and looked like she had just awoken. Instead of greeting him with her usual cheerfulness, friendliness, she merely mumbled a welcoming. This may or may not have had some correlation to what happened next. Very soon after being ushered into Jack's presence, Jack said to Bob, "You can't come over here every day." He must have seen the emotional reaction, the shock, the hurt, the reaction on Bob's face, because he immediately tried to mollify his words, mitigate what he had said. Bob said, "Well, I can leave right now." No, that's okay. You don't have to. He suggested that they play a game together. The game was called Project CIA. It was a game that they'd played together before. It was something that Bob was very impressed with because it was not the sort of game that Bob's parents would buy for him. It was not the sort of thing that you could find at the type of stores that they shopped at. It was only the type of game that Jack's college-educated, left-wing leaning, liberal arts inclined parents would have bought for him. It was a game where spies moved around a building looking for a secret formula. They played the game. Bob won. Immediately afterwards, he rather convincingly came up with an excuse why he needed to leave immediately. He was a good liar. Jack said, "No, you can stay, it's no problem. No, this is something I forgot about. I really have to do this." And so he left. He was halfway home before he realized that he'd forgotten to give Jack the Allen wrench set. So, he angrily, willfully, purposefully threw the tool into the ditch. As he did so, Emil Fishwaste in his car drove by him, going in the opposite direction, going towards Fig Pitch. How Fishwaste got up into the hills to retrieve his car is unknown. We do know that when he got to the car, he found it covered as usual, as he had left it. When he uncovered it, he saw no signs of a break-in. Going inside the car, he couldn't tell that it had been rifled through because it was already pretty messy with all the heaps of papers and periodicals. However, he did open the trunk to check on the turtle, and found it gone. What his reaction to this was, we don't know, but we do know that as he passed by Bob, his mouth was set in a flat line of determination. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you very much for listening.